Hi friends, today I am going to discuss company law in the promotion and formation of a company. Okay, let's move on into the chapter. First of all, I am going to discuss overview of this chapter. Okay, and see promoter as per section 2 subsection 69. Okay, and the next relation between promoter and company. Okay, and next duties of promoter, rights of promoter. Okay, and the next conditions and procedure for incorporation of company. Okay, and the next pre-incorporation contract and past incorporate contract. Okay, pre and past. First of all, promoter means who conceive the idea of a company, okay, and take necessary action to bring that idea into reality. Okay, as per section 2 subsection 69, definition of promoter means it named in prospectus or annual return as a promoter. Prospectus or annual return as a promoter. Okay, having control over the affairs of the company as a director or shareholder or otherwise. Okay, and whose advice the board of directors of a company is a customed habituated to act. Okay, provided that promoter does not include a person who is professional and working in merely professional capacity. Okay, and see the next one, relation between promoter and proposed company. It seems that promoter is an agent or a trustee, but in fact it is not so. Okay, generally promoters are treated as in fiduciary relation with the proposed company. Okay, and see next, duties. There are two duties. Duty to disclose all material facts. Okay, promoter shall disclose all important facts to the company after incorporation. Okay, and the next duty, not to make secret profits. Okay, a promoter can earn profit or ask for remuneration only after disclosing the fact to the company. Okay, and see the next one, condition and procedure for incorporation of a company as per section 3 plus section 7. Okay, condition for incorporation company as per section 3, 7 to 1 members, 7 minimum members in public company, 2 minimum members in private company, 1 in 1-person company. Okay, any 7 or 2 or 1 person by subscribing their names to MOA and AOA can form a public company, private company or public or 1-person company for a lawful purpose and subject to fulfillment of other conditions may be prescribed. Okay, section 3 subsection 1, and see steps for incorporation of a company. Steps as per section 7. First one, name approval stage. Firstly, the person intending to register the company shall select some reasonable names and apply to ROC for its approval. Okay, presently a web service that is reserve unique name is used to get the name approval. For this, apply with maximum 2 names and a fee 1000 to ROC. Okay, the name approved by ROC will be valid for 20 days. Okay, and see the next one, drafting of MOA and AOA. After name approval, the person intending to form the company will prepare MOA, okay, as per table A to E of schedule 1 as well as AOA table F to J of schedule 1, okay. And see the next one, stamping and signing on MOA and AOA. Now the parties will pay stamp duty as per state stamp law or act, okay. After stamping, the subscriber will sign the last pages of MOA and AOA by writing their name, address, occupation and number of shares taken, okay. And see the next one, submission of application for registration. Now make an application to ROC in form INC 7 along with documents, copy of MOA and AOA, okay. Statutory declaration. A declaration by CA as well as director of proposed company in form INC 8 that all legal requirements for incorporation of a company has been fulfilled, okay. And say declaration as to no offense. Each of the subscribers shall declare in writing in INC 9 that he has been not convicted for an offense related to incorporation or management of the company, okay. And see the next, details of registrar office. The company shall also give details, okay, like street number, post office, landmark, pin code, okay, etc. And see next, consent on details of directors. Attached with application form DJP 2, that is consent letter to work as director. Attach details of director in form AR2 like name, date of becoming director, details of other company in which he is director, okay. And see the next, issue of certificate of incorporation. If ROC finds all the documents in order, then will issue certificate of incorporation in form number INC 11, okay. These all are the conditions, okay. And see the next, effect and nature of registration. And see, as per section 9, effects of registration. In that first one, body corporate. The company becomes a body corporate from the date mentioned in the certificate of incorporation, okay. And the next, member. The subscriber to MOA and AOA become member of the company, okay. And the next, perpetual succession. The company gets continuous representation, okay. And the next one, acquisition of assets. Now the company can acquire any type of assets, hold it, dispose it, okay. And the next one, sue and be sued. Now the third party can file suit against the company and vice versa, okay. And see the next one, nature of certificate of incorporation. The certificate of incorporation is conclusive proof that all the formalities of incorporation of the company has been fulfilled, okay. The validity of certificate of incorporation can't be challenged if subsequently some irregularities are discovered in the process of incorporation or certificate of incorporation, okay. Certificate of incorporation is held to valid when certificate of incorporation is wrongly dated, as decided in the case of Jubilee Cotton Mills Limited versus Lewis, okay. And see the next one, when MOA is wrongly signed by guardian of 5 minor subscribers. And see the next one, when object clause of MOA is altered after signing by subscriber but before registration, okay. And the next one, when the signature of subscribers are forged, that means duplicate signature, okay. And the next one, a company is registered with illegal object, then also certificate of incorporation will be valid. However, the company can't start illegal business, so it has to change its object. Okay, and see the next one, pre-incorporation contract and liability for it. Pre-incorporation contract and liability for it. A contract entered by promoter on behalf proposed company. Okay, generally promoter enter into contract with third party, that means seller or supplier, for purchase of assets or furniture for the use and benefits of proposed company. Okay, and see effects of pre-incorporation contract. Promoter will be personally liable for any liability arising from pre-incorporation contract. Okay, and see the next, relieving the promoter from liability with respect to pre-incorporation contract. In these two cases, promoter will be received. In that first one, when the company enters into new contract with third party, by which old contract between promoter and third party is replaced. Okay, then it result into release promoter. Okay, for example, old contract promoter, third party, new contract company to third party. Okay, and see the next one, relief as per Relief Act 1963. With effect 1963, pre-incorporation contract can be ratified by fulfilling these conditions. In that first one, the promoter has disclosed third party about adoption of contract by the company, okay, in future. And the next one, the pre-incorporation contract must be according to the objects of the company. And the next one, the company communicate its acceptance to third party into formal way. Okay. When the company adopt the pre-incorporation contract, the promoter will be released. Okay. Okay friends, I hope this chapter is clear for you. If you have any doubt, then comment me. In next class, we are going to discuss memorandum and articles of association. Okay friends, bye bye. All the best.